Good evening to our family here in Antigua, and welcome to Legends, Inspiration here at the American University of Antigua Conference Center, AUA College of Medicine. I am Dr. Nicole Pereira, your host for this evening. And on behalf of the American University of Antigua, it's my absolute pleasure to welcome you all to this special evening, a celebration of cricket, leadership, sportsmanship, and the enduring spirit of this wonderful game that has united generations across nations and cultures. Tonight is especially meaningful because it brings not just one, it brings two nations, cricket-loving nations, and two iconic cricket personalities whose contributions to the game inspire millions and millions today. Can we have a big round of applause as we see Sir Vivian Richards, Mr. Javagal Srinath, Dr. Nagraj Mysore, the organizing chairperson of the event today. Thank you, everyone. That was indeed extremely warm. Please be seated. Between them, I'm sure our guests have witnessed some of the cricket's most defining moments, from packed stadiums and World Cups to unforgettable rivalries and lifelong friendships forged throughout the game. Tonight, we have the rare privilege of hearing those stories firsthand and in person. Our first guest this evening is a man whose name is synonymous with determination, discipline, and excellence. At a time when India was searching for a genuine pace spearhead, he emerged as one of the fastest and the most dependable bowlers in our country that has ever produced. With more than 500 international wickets across various formats, he's carried India's pace attack with distinction over a decade. Renowned for his fierce competitiveness, exceptional fitness, and unwavering professionalism, Mr. Javagal Srinath has earned admiration of teammates and opponents alike. A recipient of both the Arjuna Award and the prestigious Karnataka Rajyotsava Award, he continues to serve the game with distinction beyond his playing days as an ICC match referee, exemplifying integrity, spirit, the values that define cricket. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming one of India's greatest fast bowlers and a true ambassador of the sport, Mr. Javagal Srinath. I now invite Dr. Ricardo Hood, the Dean of Preclinical Services and Sciences at the Medical University of Antigua, to kindly accompany Mr. Javagal Srinath onto the dais. Our second guest needs little introduction in the Caribbean, and indeed across the cricketing world, and someone who shares a great bond with AUA. For the people of Antigua and Barbuda, he remains one of the nation's most celebrated sons and a source of immense national pride. Sir Vivian Richards is more than a cricketing legend. He's an icon of courage, confidence, and excellence. Widely regarded as one of the greatest batsmen to have ever played the game, he's revolutionized batting with his fearless approach and unmatched presence at the crease. Representing mighty West Indies during one of cricket's most dominant eras, Sir Vivian has inspired generations with his aggressive stroke play, leadership, and unwavering self-belief. To cricket fans around the world, he symbolized not only sporting greatness but also pride, resilience, and Caribbean excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming a true cricketing giant, the right, excellent Sir Isaac Vivian Alexander Richards. And I kindly invite Dr. Ricardo Hood and Dr. Nagaraj Mysore to kindly welcome both of our distinguished dignitaries onto the dais. Thank you. Before we begin tonight's celebrations, it is fitting that we pay tribute to the two nations that have shaped and inspired this special occasion. Antigua and Barbuda, the home of one of cricket's greatest legends, and India, our home, a nation where cricket is cherished as a way of life. We will first hear the national anthem of Antigua and Barbuda, followed by the national anthem of the Republic of India. Kindly stand. Please remain standing. I now invite Drs. Amruta, Dr. Aparna, and Ms. Himadri onto the dais and request everyone to remain standing as they will now sing the national anthem of the Republic of India.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंग विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे। Thank you.
Thank you. To officially welcome our guests and commence this evening's celebrations, it is my honor to invite a respected leader of our institution, Dr. Ricardo Hood, Dean of Preclinical Sciences at the American University of Antigua, to deliver the welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Hood.
So good evening. What a great night. The danger in having me with a microphone is that I sometimes have prepared remarks that I go off the rails. I will try to stick to my prepared words. So good evening, fellow cricket enthusiasts. It's an absolute honor to stand before a room of people who share profound love for this beautiful game, especially as we gather to celebrate two absolute titans of cricket history, Sir Vivian Richards and Javagal Srinath. When you think about the soul of cricket, you think of the moments that take your breath away. On one hand, we have our own Sir Vivian Richards, the master blaster. Long before modern T20 cricket, Sir Vivian redefined what it meant to dominate. He didn't just walk the crease, he marched to it with an unmatched majesty and a stark refusal to wear a helmet. He brought a swagger, a fierce pride, a destructive elegance that struck fear into the hearts of bowlers worldwide. He showed us that cricket is not just a sport, but a theater of courage and supreme artistry. On the other hand, we honor Javagal Srinath, the spearhead of India's pace attack during an era when spin was traditionally the crown jewel. Srinath was tireless warrior of the pitch. With his high arm action and lethal pace, he carried the weight of a nation's bowling attack on his shoulders with immense grace and relentless determination. He provided that true greatness is forged through resilience, exceptional skill, and an unwavering commitment to the team. Separated by geography, but united by their legendary impact, both men on the stage represent the very best of cricket, fearless passion and tireless dedication. They gave us memories that sparked passionate debate, warm nostalgia, and that's whenever fans get together. So I'm sure some of that will happen tonight. Not just their statistics, not just their trophies, but the enduring spirit they gave the game that we all love. Now, I include me in the we. I think many in the room know I did not grow up in the world of cricket, but I've been here for the last 12 years. For those of you who may not know, baseball in America has a bat and a ball. So I grew up with Willie Mays and Henry Aaron. And tonight, that ground is just as hallowed here in Antigua, having these two giants of a game as what I would have felt being in the room with Willie Mays and Henry Aaron. So welcome to tonight. This is going to be great. It's going to be memorable. There may be a fast pace, and there may be some strong balls. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hood. That was amazing. Thank you for setting the tone for this evening. We now arrive at what promises to be one of the most exciting segments of this evening. Our guests have experienced some of cricket's greatest moments, shared dressing rooms with legends, faced immense challenges. They've created memories that continue to inspire fans even today. Tonight, all of us have that unique opportunity to hear from them directly about their journeys, experiences, the lessons that they learned, and the reflections in today's modern game. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our legends, Sir Vivian Richards and Ms. Javagal Srinath, along with Dr. Nagraj Mysore over the dais here for an engaging conversation. Over to you, Dr. Nagraj.
Some collar mics for you and Sir Richards.
Sure.
All right. Excuse me. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and again a warm welcome as the organizing secretary of this event. And words fails to depict the immense pleasure I derive on this great event, having two legendary cricketers on either side of me. To my left is one of the world's greatest batsmen who redefined the cricket with his fearless batting and inspired generations across the world. Sir Vivian Isaac Richards. Sir, welcome to this show. And I know with your very busy professional commitments, you are with us today at American University of Antigua College of Medicine. I know that you have a great love and affection for this university, and welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much. Great to be here.
It was in 1990s, early 1990s, when India was really looking forward to have a very legendary fast bowler who can share the new ball along with one of our legendary all-round cricketer, Mr. Kapil Dev. The selectors were on a hunt looking for a talented, young talent who can really meet their expectations. And it is my proudness, I had this opportunity to grow up with this young lad from the city of Mysore, who was able to bend his back and generate the pace, clocking 140s and 150s, and he was able to catch the eyes of national selectors. It was in early 1990s, the Mysore Express, Javagal Srinath made into the international reckoning. Javagal, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mr. Javagal Srinath, as most of you know, he is here in Antigua for a little more than a week now for the ongoing series between West Indies and Sri Lanka in the capacity as International Cricket Council match referee. He has made his reckoning because of his hard work, perseverance, dedication, and more than anything, the humility he carries with him has recognized by all cricketing nations, and we're all proud of having the backyard gentleman amongst us with a legendary cricketer like Sir Vivian Richards. Without wasting much of our time, because this is the most highlight part of our event today, I would like to start to have my fireside chat conversation, and it's my honor to have my first question to Sir Vivian Richards this evening. Sir, are you ready?
Just about ready.
Yeah. Sir, and this was in 1974. And I was 10 years old, Javagal was 5 years old. You made your international test debut in Bengaluru, India. So can you please share your experiences with your international test debut?
I remember that quite clearly up to this very day because I remember in 1974 we went to India. Our first trip would have been to Bangalore. And the first thing that we recognized was what a beautiful city. It was called as a garden city then.
Right.
I don't know whether it still happens
Yeah,
today.
it's still called the Garden City.
But that was a nasty experience for me. When I said nasty, because in those days you used to get 30,000 folks watching a test match. And this was just unbelievable. And I remember walking out from my very first test match, Bangalore. You had the bamboo stairs. And I was nervous as hell. And I can remember I tripped over, fell to the bottom, and a couple of your cops took me in hand, made sure I got back to my feet, because in those days, when you walk onto a pitch after a wicket would have just fallen. The firecrackers, they were going. And I can remember I said to myself, if this is what you chose, Viv, I don't want to be part of it, because it was like I was in a city where there's a lot of bombs being thrown. But it was a great experience in a big way. I've always felt that. Because India in those days, they didn't worry about having a Srinath or a Kapil Dev or anything like that then. It was all about the spinners. Bishan Singh Bedi, Prasanna, you had Venkat Raghavan, and a guy who was a nuisance to me, Chandrasekhar. And it was such an experience that when you tell folks about this, people used to fear the fast bowlers of such, but Indian spinners were feared. I remember the two guys who would open the bowling at the time would have been Abid Ali and Icky Sulka. And in any cricketing environment, everyone will want to preserve the new ball, make sure that it's nice and hard, and that you can do whatever shining. After the few overs, those guys would be rolling the ball on the ground to Chandrasekhar, and he'll hold it in hand, and he'll grip it, and he'll have a little bowl to Bishan. Then Bishan will have a little nod. Yes, it's about our time now. Then he will bowl it to Venkat, and they'll be all ready. And then the last one would have been Prasanna. And the crowd would recognize this, and they knew it's about wicket taking time. And it was an experience that I'll never, ever forget. And it's, when I tell young folks about it, you know, I never really wanted to watch as well. Why? I would sit on the physio's table, and you know when it was your time, the whole place would just erupt when a wicket falls. And that would be my wake-up call. You know, but that was some special times. As we go on, you become accustomed to conditions, and Mr. Chandrasekhar didn't play in Delhi, and I had a great time there then.
I'll come to that. Yeah, thank you, sir. We all know that it was not a very impressive debut for you in Bangalore because you got out for 3 runs and 4 runs in both the innings, and you got out to B.S. Chandrasekhar. How did you rate B.S. Chandrasekhar, or what was more, confusing for you, or having challenges facing B.S. Chandrasekhar?
The things about it, I remember we met one night at a cocktail party and shook his hands, and obviously sort of tapped him on the shoulder, getting to find out that apparently he had suffered from polio. And it was just unbelievable how a guy with that hand speed could get up. I can remember we had one of our best hookers in the team, who was Roy Fredericks, and Chandrasekhar bumped him out, a bouncer. That's so quick, because when he got that ball to grip, it was going at you either side, it's going to leave you or come into you. And you'd have all the guys around in that little area, the Icky Sulkers. And the famous word that you'll hear then, up him, every time. Okay. But those guys were special. And in those days, I guess, because of spinners were your strength, I had no issues with that. You prepare wickets that were suitable to your success. Sometimes you get some countries around the world complain. Take, for instance, the English at times when they're ever there in India, and it started to spin a little bit, they'll cry their hearts out. But they forget about the fact that when you go to England, they'll do whatever in terms of seam, because they always felt that the West Indians and the Asians are not conducive that well to pace.
And also, if I'm correct, those days the wicket were uncovered. Unlike these days where we cover the wickets, probably those were uncovered wickets. It was left open. Is that correct?
Oh, some of the wickets were, but it's all part of your development process.
Okay.
Having to play on these sort of tracks. So whenever you got something that was quite to your liking, you would appreciate that.
But you came back with a very impressive 192 runs in the very second test match. And should I have to highlight that B.S. Chandrasekhar did not play the test match?
Thank God, man. Thank God. It's because he was a nuisance then. Not a nuisance as an individual, but a nuisance to your career,
I can understand. Yeah, totally. Javagal, coming to you. Of course, you had a fantastic domestic cricket playing in the city of Mysore. And what was that breakthrough you got to get into that Karnataka state team as well as the international reckoning?
Thanks, Nagaraj. Before I answer your question, I think this is little awkward for me. It shouldn't be the same. I mean, here is the man, the greatest, the legend, and Sachin always calls him the king. And he always, one big fan of Sir Vivian is Sachin Tendulkar. He imitates him. I have seen him imitating him, the way he walks, the swagger, the chewing gum, and all of it. And I mean, that's Vivian Richards. I mean, here is a cricketer. That's about it. The rest is all there. I'm really honored to share this stage with you.
Don't be that modest, man. Don't be that modest. Listen, I'll tell you something. I've watched, I like to watch a lot of careers. Let me just put this one in. And I've seen you perform, man. Anyone who looks at you here tonight, see how humble and pleasant you are. With a ball in hand, you're just as menacing. And I've always appreciated the fact that you always seem to give of your all. You would leave, every game that I see you bowl, it's like it was your last. And for someone who, and this is really real now, for someone that appreciates seeing folks compete, it was a pleasure, just seeing you, because in those days, apart from Capel and yourself, no one would try and ruffle the batsman, and you were one of those guys who sort of brought all what you would have seen, the Bumrahs and the Sharmas and everything. You started that whole process in terms of your fierce competitiveness.
Thank you very much. Mine was a happy-go-lucky in the sense that I never expected to play for India. I didn't have those dreams. Unlike Anil, my counterpart, he was well focused, and from the under 22s, he used to say, "I want to play for India," and there he was. And for me, it was like, all right, I played cricket, so played for Karnataka under 23. I played cricket, now got me a chance to play for the first-class cricket for Karnataka. And then, well, I mean, that's not bad. I mean, I have played for India. That was my attitude, which was probably not the most ideal attitude. Now I completely detest it. I should have been a little more focused. It took 2 years in the international career. That's because, we come from a typical middle-class family in India. where it's all about education. And I was doing my engineering, so my parents were, you play the game, that's all right, but you've got to finish your degree and then make a career out of it. So it was never easy in India to bank on cricket as a profession. You know, I mean, not many people really make it, you know, to the Indian media, millions who are playing. So, you know, we don't even have a sporting culture in India. So therefore, all these things probably, you know, the preparedness to play for the country wasn't great. I mean, maybe if we had that sporting culture, if we had a vision of playing for the country, things would have been different. We would have prepared in a different way. That is probably one of the drawbacks. I mean, it was more of a hobby, which became a profession. That's probably the best thing that could happen to anyone. You know, I mean, you know, I got the right breaks everywhere, and you know, you keep bowling, and all of a sudden you see that, you know, you're a little quicker than the others. And one good thing in India, maybe that happened was, not many people took fast bowling, and I was one of them. So that also helped in one way or the other. So, you know, it was a decent career, I would say. Still sit back and sometimes think when I'm watching Shamar Joseph today, the line, what he bowls and how straight he is, sometimes I feel that, you know, I should have done better.
Javagal, just going back to the same question, when did you think you got that breakthrough where you made into the national team?
Two games, I would say. One is 1990, Karnataka played Maharashtra. Is anybody here from Maharashtra?
There are quite a few.
Okay, good. And we played at Pune. And then, you know, I got 7 wickets in a span of half an hour or so. And that was, and we were not expecting to win that match. You know, that was one game which really, you know, put focus on me. Anil Kumble was the one who came to me and said, looks like you're bowling the quickest in this group. So that was very motivating. And the next one was Irani Trophy. That was in Faridabad. Again, you know, it was rest of India versus Haryana against Kapil Dev. So I got the wicket of Kapil Dev. So that was probably another wicket haul. These two games were, I mean, that was basically a selection match to go to Australia. And I got picked from that particular match.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you, Sri, for giving that information for us. Sir, Vivian, coming back to you, I know you already spoke quite a bit about the quartet spin attack of the Indian team. And you also mentioned that most often the new ball was used just for that, because I remember sometimes even Sunil Gavaskar has opened the new ball. We know all that always you open with the bat. But did you ever imagine that India will come up with a battery of fast bowlers like Kapil Dev, Javagal, Jasprit Bumrah, Zahir Khan, Ishan Sharma? So did you ever imagine India could produce fast bowlers like this?
Not imagine, but I've lived to see it. You know, it's, I remember I was doing some commentary here with Sunny and all the guys, the commentary team, and it was India v West Indies at the stadium. And apparently, you had, I think it was Bumrah, Sharma, I think it's a little Kumar who used to do a little...
Bhuvaneshwar Kumar?
Yeah, used to, not as quick, but was quite excellent in terms of swing. And then there's the other guy, who was the next one? Oh, man.
Zahir Khan, the left.
No, not Zahir Khan. There's another...
Ishan
Sharma.
Ishan Sharma.
You had, who's the other guy? You had Bumrah, Kumar, and there's one other guy who...
He said,
oh, man.
Shami?
Well done, well called. Mohammed Sami.
Mohammed Shami.
No one, in my opinion, just in the latter days, Mohammed Sami, who presents the scene as much as that guy, right? When he's unsung, unplayable. You had that 4. And I remember saying to Sonny, hey, Sonny, man, I've lived to see the day where an Indian pace attack looks more potent than a West Indian attack. And I said, the most amazing thing about it, it's here in the Caribbean. You know, so that was just something to behold. Yeah.
I think you forgot the name of Zahir. He really bowled well.
Is that?
Zahir Khan.
Zahir, he's also
Yes.
aggression, appreciate that aggression as well. He came and he hit his length hard, and you know, it's all of a sudden now, you know, the guys, they're doing their thing. You know, we'd like if you could export some.
True. And so, Vivian, do you remember when you noticed Javagal for the very first time in the international cricket?
Listen, I always enjoyed. One guy I've always felt was the individual who started the real competitiveness in Indian cricket, and that's what Kapil did. Kapil believed he could accomplish anything, you know, and having that belief, you could see some, because there are times when you walk out to an Indian team and before you bowl a ball or you bat, you would have won. You know, and that was the early days where guys just did not believe. But I felt Kapil came with a fire that said, hey, we too also can achieve. And that to me sends a message. I can remember that same catch that he took in 1983.
I'll come to that later.
You know, that was crazy stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But it's all part. I've always enjoyed going to India, touring India, playing I enjoy my food with spices, you know. So I appreciate.
What's your favorite dish?
I love my mutton rogan gosh and my yellow dal, you know, and
Good to hear that.
basmati boiled rice and stuff.
Great.
You know, what's another one called? The lady's fingers.
Yes.
All that stuff, you know. So
Excellent, excellent. Yeah. Javagal, since Sir Vivian brought the name of Mr. Kapil there, one of the greatest all-rounders India has ever produced, what was your experience sharing the new ball with him, especially during your early part of your career?
Well, you know, it happened so that he was, I mean, I had his posters in my room, and he was my idol in one way or the other. I mean, in many ways, actually. I mean, you need such idols to, you know, to play this game. I mean, yeah, of course, Viv Richards was on a different level altogether. For me as a bowler, Kapil Dev, Imran Khan, Dennis Lilly, all of them inspired us. And then every day in the practice, I'm talking about when I was 16, 17, you know, whatever that comes to your mind, listen to the commentary, imagine what the commentator said, and then you thought that you are bowling like him in the nets. Then again, watch when the television came in 1983, we were so pleased. And then you watched so many bowlers on the television, you want to come and emulate them in the nets. But by the end of the day, everybody used to say, no, you think that you're bowling like Imran Khan, you're just the same, you haven't. You know, there is no change in your action, it's still the same action. See, this is how we grow into fast bowling. For me, Kapil was one of the biggest idol, and then I really, wanted to do whatever that he did in my school cricket and my college cricket. So once I graduated into first-class cricket, I got a chance to come and bowl in the Indian nets in Bangalore, and Kapil came to me and said, I'm gifting you a pair of shoes, and then he gave me a bowling boots, and I took it back to Mysore. Half of Mysore came to see that shoes. That's how the following was. Although the shoes were a little tight for me, still I used to, use it once in a while. I used to use it once in a while, very sparingly, and that was the Kapil Dev for me. Now, it happens so in cricket that you adore him, and then from there, he's like a demigod for you, and then, you have met him once, you have bowled alongside with him in the nets, and then in a couple of years, you're bowling alongside with him, and in 2 years' time, that is probably after playing for India and good 2 to 3 years, we have differences of opinion in the way we need to bowl and get wickets. You know, that's the beauty of this game. You know, one thing I must admit that, you know, Kapil gave me the freedom of, you know, what to do and how to bowl and act. And sometimes people ask me that, you know, did Kapil teach you enough? But my question is, did I learn enough from him? That's my way of looking into it. I mean, one of the supreme cricketers that I have seen, be it batting, be it bowling, and you know, of course, bowling, his fielding, he was another brilliant fielder. Even when I played, he was almost, you know, finishing, I would say, last 2-3 years of his cricket. But his commitment, his, you know, that tenacity, that strength that he had in a test match, or the way he batted in the ODIs, I mean, he was a complete cricketer, I would say. You can't really take anything out of this man, and that's Kapil Dev.
Excellent. Javagal, you are bowled against one of the top batsmen of West Indies cricket team during your career, like Brian Lara and Sir Richie Richardson, and we had Shivanarayan Chandrapal, so forth and so on. Gordon Greenidge, of course.
Desmond Haynes,
Yeah. Unfortunately, Sir Vivian Richards was, you missed Sir Vivian Richards.
My wish is, at least, you know, I mean, he retired a little earlier than my debut, before my debut, so at least I should have got hit for 2 sixes and
No.
that would have been.
No, to fulfill your desire, ambition, I can organize a local cricket sometime tomorrow, and I'll make sure Sir Vivian Richards will hit 6 sixers and the 6 balls. Is that okay? All right. Yeah, so good to hear that. So, but what was your experience of bowling to these guys like Brian Lara, Sir Richie Richardson?
During our times, I mean, for the first time I bowled to Desmond Haynes and Gordon Greenidge. That was in Australia, way back in 1991. I mean, they were almost finishing. Richie continued for a couple of years. Greenidge retired immediately. Desmond Haynes retired immediately. You know, they were all in the fag end of their career. They were not in the peak of their careers. The upcoming ones were Brian Lara. Richie Richardson was still good. Then you had Keith Atherton, Carl Hooper. Then you had Chandrapal, and these guys up and coming. Chandrapal came in way back 96 onwards. Okay. So, I mean, that was a transition that was happening. All the good guys had, you know, almost quit. They were now, West Indies were trying with the new guys who were coming in. The bowling was still the best. You had Courtney Walsh, you had Ambrose, you had some good fast bowlers.
Winston Benjamin was
still playing. Kenneth Benjamin was playing. He could bowl some quick stuff. I mean, fast bowling, they were never dearth of fast bowling for them.
I'm not sure whether Malcolm Marshall was still there.
Malcolm Marshall, yes.
Yeah,
I played Marshall.
Excellent.
That's something that I really take pride in. Facing Malcolm Marshall. And that too when he was bowling at 130. He had almost, he was again, I mean, that was the last series that he played in Australia. So, watching them on television way back in 1985, 86, and then playing with them was, you know, that's another experience altogether. Brian Lara was the one who really got stuck into us and, you know, who changed the games on many occasions when we played. He was the main man.
Right, thank you. Sir Vivian, I know the one thing which was exemplary in your batting and of course the way you were batting all types of bowlers, you never wore a headgear. What was that? What was the reason behind that?
In those days, it just wasn't comfortable enough. You know, they were pretty heavy, and any sportsman or woman is going to go about your business, you need to be comfortable. And just wasn't comfortable. And the cap that I had, my maroon, that was to me the most important thing. You know, you want to wear your West Indies cap. The helmet never quite sent the message, you know, what I wanted to send, that that I'm in control. And if anything goes wrong, someone up there will take care of me, you know? I've always looked at it in that way. And thank God, you know, I've never really been seriously hurt or anything like that. So I'm happy with that, you know. But it wasn't the fact that I felt I was braver than anyone else. Take, for instance, the modern day player. You can say that what took place yesterday would prepare them for the day in terms of the gear,
Right.
the must-wear factor in terms of the rules of the game today. So you got to give people like the Don Bradmans, the Sonny Gavaskar, even though with that little silly skull cap, that couldn't protect him from anything. So you got to give all these guys credit, because today in the game in itself, it has changed a fair bit. If you have too much aggression where the short ball is concerned, that's your one for the over, or whatever the case is. You know? So it have at some point become predictable, where individuals know exactly what's coming next because of what went down previously. But I never really felt comfortable with the cap, and never with the helmet of Sutton. I never really felt comfortable. Maybe some may say that my head was big enough.
No, but was it a hindrance? I mean, was it a hindrance for you?
Yes, I don't think they quite had the technology as they do have today. You had the grill as well, and it just wasn't comfortable. And in order to be comfortable at the crease and for you to do or accomplish the things that you would like to accomplish, one's got to be in a comfortable place to do that.
So Javagal, in the same context, suppose you happen to come across a batsman who just come like Sir Vivian Richards during your time. Do you get intimidated bowling at a batsman who has walked in without a headgear? How do you look at it?
During my times, the helmet was more or less necessary for everyone. Most of them wore it. Still, a couple of them came without helmet, and then the calls came from behind the stumps that, you know, come on now, you know, bowl some bouncers and all of it. So that's, you know, that was more or less, but hardly, not many didn't use their helmet. Most of them did in my times. So that had become part of the normal gear, like pads and glove and helmets. Not many people, in my opinion, came without a helmet. I mean, it is not about the speed of the bowler or whatever. It was more about, you know, securing yourself at the center, and also I remember hitting Merrick Pringle, the South African all-rounder. I didn't like to hit anyone, that's for sure. It was not a pleasant sight, and the ball went through the grill, and I mean, that ended his career more or less. He couldn't play much cricket after that. It was not, I mean, intention was definitely not to hurt him, but, you know, it happens once in a while in cricket, and it's not a pleasant thing to happen, honestly.
I remember when Philip Hughes, that incident in Australia,
was sad.
I woke up the night, right, and I'm watching my YouTube and saw it. And it's the first time I felt really scared and said, wow, that could have been you. You know, so it was just an unfortunate thing to have happened then, you know. Someone losing their life and knowing that you yourself would have participated in such a sport. And
without helmet, will you
without
be
helmet.
more? Without helmet, you would be, your technique would change. You would be even more cautious about where the ball is, and you would not lose the sight of the ball.
Yeah.
That would be the reason as well.
I try and it's a good reason to try and watch the ball as closely as you can. Because if you did not watch it, it could do serious harm.
You played the Pascoes, the Lilies, and those guys were Thompson, and they were really fast.
I got grazed a bit. It's like everything else in life, you know. You can be walking across the road and get knocked over. You know, so. But at the end of the day, you have to prepare yourself. And when you say this to your opponents, I guess sometimes they believe, right? I say, look, if you're going to go, what better place to do it than where you enjoy doing it, you know?
Only you can do
it. You know, that was the basic thing, you know. I just felt, I look at maybe Formula One racing. And I would say that is dangerous as anything. You know, one little mishap and that's it. And to me, a cricket ball was nothing. And that's the way I basically, the comparison basically was made, yeah.
Sir Vivian, there is a big alphabet V in your name,
Big,
but you never believed, if I'm correct, playing in that V shape when you went for batting. You just play accordingly. Wherever you wanted to hit, you smash the ball all over.
Well, when I first went to England, I fell out with my coaches. They said, this guy from the Caribbean, yeah, he's not going to learn anything because the English style of play, as you know, is all about in the V, the coaching manual.
Defend all the time.
You know, and I can remember I was rather abrasive and confident.
Exactly.
Maybe asking my questions, coaches, and my questions to the coaches. And I remember I said to him, tell me something, it wouldn't be boring, just keep hitting the ball in the V every time. I said, there are certain balls that you can do that too. And I can remember I got really cocky with my answer. I said to him, I'm an artist. My job is not to hit fieldsmen, but to hit gaps. You know, and that's the way I look at it. You know, you improvise. And I grew up in an environment hitting the ball.
Absolutely.
You know, and when you went to England, and this is why when I brought up my autobiography, it was all to do, the topic would have been hitting across the line. You know, because in England, it was unheard of. When you look at the cricket today and see the way in which it's played, you got to throw the coaching manual out of the door.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
And your best was this.
Yeah, and this is about it. You improvise in it. You're helping to sell your sport, to help to put bums in seats, you know? That's what your job is all about, to make it as entertaining as possible. And it was all about that, hitting the ball and hitting the gaps and all that. It's like Picasso painting, you know? That's the way you felt.
And during 70s and 80s, the little master, Sunil Gavaskar, stood like a wall between the West Indies pace attack and the Indian batting side. So what was your preparation? What was your dressing room conversation to get rid of Sir Sunil Gavaskar?
Well, if we played in India, we would have loved to have had the modern day system, the referral system. But not taking anything away from Sonny. You know, I would have been involved in most of the innings that I would have seen him play. Up to this day, I still call him the godfather of Indian batsmanship. Because having seen Sonny, all the other guys, the Sachins, you know, Sachins came on, the Virats, all the guys, the Wall, Javed, and Lakshman. To me, Sonny started that whole stuff with Indian batsmanship. And this is why I put him down every day as the godfather. Yeah. And standing at maybe second slip at times, watching this guy do his business, man. 1400s against the best bowling attack at the time. Guys were afraid to play these guys, face some of these individuals. And this little guy came, 14 centuries. And I remember they came to the Caribbean and they really gave the Caribbean pacers a hiding. Vichy, Vishwanath, you had Sonny doing well, and there was a calypso which was made about Sonny, and it goes to this factor. Just like a wall, the West Indian pace bowlers could not out Sonny Gavaskar at all. You know, so Sonny was special, man, and forever he will go down in the folklore, in my opinion, as great, and started that great period of Indian batsmanship.
And we all know very well the West Indies cricket team, how aggressive they are with the bat and the ball. But were there any kind of sledging?
We never that sledged that.
Batsmen like Sunil Gavaskar.
We never said Sonny, because I remember one little incident we had where Sonny went two other opening batsmen came, apart from Sonny.
Okay.
Sonny came, I think it was number 4.
Correct.
And Malcolm Marshall had a great spell. For some reason, he never liked Dilip Vengsaka. And every time he bowled to Dilip, he'd be very aggressive. I got him out. He got another one out. So which means India, they were still 0. 2 wickets down and no run. So I can remember I walked past Sonny and I said, "Hey, Sonny, man, you know, you may change and bat to whatever number, but you're still not for now, man."
Yeah, I remember this conversation when Sunil Gavaskar was having at one of the interviews. He says, only one time I remember Sir Vivian Richards, kind of a sledge, he did that while he was passing across.
Just passing there because
Yeah.
they hadn't scored.
Correct.
And he would normally be the opening batsman, and they were still 0.
Yeah, and he
2
says
down
that-
for no runs,
And in that match, he says, for some reasons, he decided to bat at number 4 instead of opening the innings. And it was Anshuman Gaikwad who got out ball number 4 from Malcolm Marshall. And the very next ball, Dilip Vengsakar walks in and he gets out. And the last ball at the end of the Malcolm Marshall, Sunil Gavaskar comes and he defends the ball. And as you are crossing the wicket, he says, no matter what number you come back, the score is still 0. This is what exactly Sunil Gavaskar says.
I think you could tell the story much better than I do then.
Yeah. That was very interesting comment from us.
No, but the West Indies, we never really got into any big argument of.
Well, they don't say anything to anyone, but they hurt everyone.
Yeah, they look.
You don't have to do it.
So, Javagal, coming back to you, I know you have played under different captains, starting from Kapil Dev, Sachin, Mohammad Azharuddin, and Saurav Ganguly, etc. Whom do you think, which captain utilized your skills better?
The freedom to work or probably to bowl or to express yourself, I think was best under Saurav Ganguly. That's because we grew up together, we played together. In fact, I was a couple of years ahead of him. Tendulkar was tough when he became captain in '96. He was tremendously talented, as you all know. I mean, he could bat, he could bowl out swingers, he could bowl in swingers. I always say that when you have such a talented captain, it becomes very difficult to perform under them. And his thinking was that if I can do it, why can't you do it? I mean, there is a difference between a cricketer and a legend sitting here. We used to always say, and Sachin couldn't understand when he was the captain for the first time. And he always believed that, people were not giving enough. When he came back for the captaincy for the second time, he was a much better captain. He understood, a talent and how to harness limited talent in people. With Ganguly, I think we were all much matured. Probably I was playing my 10th year of international cricket. We grew up together, so we had freedom to express and speak and talk. 5-6 seniors got together, so Ganguly was just making a decision it was more symbolic on his part. The top 5 guys were all making decisions for the team, so that helped quite a bit. And I'm sure Sir Vivian will also understand that if there are good 5 senior players who are on the same page, the team is going to win a lot. So that's what we saw. We had a very sad incident of match fixing. Post that, we had to really prove something to the world. And I think 5-6 of us started probably doing well, and we were all on the same page to really salvage the prestige of Indian cricket. I mean, that 3-4 years, we started winning abroad. We came to the finals of the World Cup. That was a good period under Saurav Ganguly.
Good to know that, Javagal. Any India versus Pakistan match, the entire world knows that how energetic, how people look at those matches. So how was the dressing room atmosphere the day before or the start of the match in the Indian dressing room?
It's always intense, India-Pakistan match. The expectation is just not from the team or from the people who come and watch the match. The expectations are from the taxi drivers outside the airport, from the air hostess to people anywhere you walk all they say is lose to anybody else, not to Pakistan. I mean, this is how it starts. Somehow or the other, I mean, we were a country and then, we were partitioned and the rivalry has been very rife and it has sustained it over a period of time and it's a good competition, but when we meet Wasim and all these guys in Zamam, we have a good laugh and we are good friends. But I think I can feel the pressure what they go through. They also understand the pressure that we go through. I mean, Pakistan people are not very happy when they lose a match and they have to pay a price for that as soon as they land in Pakistan. And we also have faced similar situations in India too. I mean, even your man Friday at home will not be happy if you lose a match against Pakistan. So that's how that's where the intensity is. It is always a special game. Pakistan has produced some wonderful cricketers, right from Imran Khan to Wasim to Waqar and Saqlain Mushtaq and all these guys. And it has always been a good cricket with them. And if at all you're looking for a deeper satisfaction, is that when you beat Pakistan, come back to the room and then you relax and then, oh, good God, we have beat them. So beating Pakistan during my career in the 4 World Cups have been the highlight, actually.
Good to know that. Sir Vivian, I'll come to a question. Definitely you don't like to recall that.
1983, oh man.
You got it, sir.
I could feel it. Yeah.
So it was 1983 World Cup finals, West Indies chasing a very modest total of 183 scored by the Indians. And you walk in there with the fall of a couple of wickets. And you were playing so well. I think you hit 6 or 7 fours already in your 33 runs. And in the bowling of Madan Lal, one little short pitched ball and probably you little missed time having a pull shot. And you skied the ball. What went in your mind at that particular point in time?
Well, the first thing, when I hit it, I'd mistimed it. And I looked up, and when I saw the individual going for the catch, I said, my number is up. I would have loved to have seen a Sonny Gavaskar with his little legs going for that catch rather than Kapil Dev. As we all know how competitive and Kapil felt that this was an opportunity. I don't think any other fieldsman in the team at the time wanted that, but Kapil felt the competitor that he is, he felt. Yeah. And it just changed the whole game.
Right.
That catch in itself just basically gave India some hope. And conditions were a little bit conducive to the seamers that India had then. It swung around a little bit and our guys didn't quite handle the swing that well.
Yeah, because seasons don't happen over a period of time. It happens just in one day in
yeah, it's because we felt
going.
It was a so-called easy total, but it's never easy, especially if things go wrong, and sometimes you don't. And we just fell all over the place. But the funny thing about it, that night in the hotel, we had us to go over some dead bodies, and that's where I fell in love with the tablet then, because it went on, couldn't sleep, it was going all night. Got up in the morning, because in those days, Joel Garn and myself, we were playing for Somerset, and we had us to return home that Sunday morning to play in the afternoon for Somerset. And we were walking over just dead Indian bodies everywhere. And you could hear some guy will look up and they'll see who you are, and they'll all say, tough luck, tough luck. But yeah, in a sense, that's the way it is. India turned it on, and in a sense, it gave Kapil Dev, in my opinion, because of the competitor, something to run away with as being a winner of a World Cup. I would say some things to him, like when I was him, because he dined out for a long while on that catch. So it was really nice to see Dhoni, when they beat Sri Lanka in Mumbai, just changed the whole format somewhat. Kapil, I never really bought me a drink, Kapil. Never did. But he dined out a hell of a lot on the fact of taking that particular course.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But one thing was that particular victory for India, that came with the culmination of television in India. So television had just come up in India, and India winning the World Cup.
Yeah.
That made cricket even more famous in India. Everybody understood that this is a medium to sell their products. Television, cricket, they chose cricket to introduce their products, the retailers. That really opened up the retail market on television, and that was the real growth of cricket. So probably, thanks for getting out.
I was happy for Capel anyway, because he faced competitor, and to see him actually being winner of the first World Cup to be won by, I think that was tribute to a highly competitive individual.
Yeah, he played a blinder against Zimbabwe.
Yes,
2 days back. So I think that it started all from there.
So Javagal, like victories and losses, we are all talking about how disappointing losing a match, as Sir Vivian was expressing it. So in one of the 1996 match against Sri Lanka, it was a quarterfinals match, if I'm correct, and this was in Kolkata, Eden Gardens, Kolkata, and you were chasing, India was chasing 250 plus runs, and one time we were cruising well, but there was a collapse in the batting, and India were 120 runs with 8 wickets down. And match has to be abandoned because of the restlessness of the spectators. So what went wrong, or what was it on that day?
Well, it was a new pitch. We won the toss and we probably put them in, I think, to bat. That was probably the mistake that we did. The pitch turned square. After that, we had no answer for the spin of the Sri Lankans. Jai Surya bowling at one end. Then you had Muttai Muralidharan turning square. Arvind De Silva was turning on that pitch, of all the people. So we were caught on that pitch, which wasn't really good. Maybe our strategy could have been better. Our think tank should have read the pitch better, in my opinion. And then, of course, Indian Calcutta crowd was unpardoning. They didn't want the match to continue. There were a lot of people crying and stuff, which wasn't. Then, we have this few things like, putting the fire and playing around with that, became a little dangerous. And then I think the match referee probably did the right thing in calling off the match and awarding the match for the Sri Lankans. We were in no position to win the match anyway. Which was one of the disappointing days for Indian cricket, I would say. Having gone that far, having all the advantage, we lost it.
So in the same context, in 1996 Titan World Cup match, India playing Australia in Bengaluru, Chinnaswamy Stadium, and India chasing a modest again total of 215 runs. At one stage, India were 164 for 7 or 8 when Anil Kumble joined you. And somehow you guys put in all your efforts and we were able to win that particular match. What do you recollect about that particular match?
You see, when you bat once in a while, it is always recognized. It was one of those games. We were up against, we were facing our home crowd and they expected a lot from us. It was one of those games where the batting clicked, and myself and Anil, we had a good 55 runs partnership. I think why that game is remembered is because people thought that we lost the match when we lost the 7th wicket or 8th wicket. Anil and I scored those 55 runs in the last 15 overs or so. That probably is still vivid in the minds of people who watched that match. And I think YouTube has also done a good job in promoting that match every now and then, everywhere. And beating Australia is always a pleasure. So that's, I'm sure we would endorse it. So that was one of those games. And I'm sure we should have, I would have won, but there was many situations where we could have done well. Earlier, the fast bowlers never bowled a bouncer at another fast bowler. But one fast bowler never bowled a bouncer at the other fast bowler batting.
Yeah,
of
there
the
used to be
operation. But
those days the Fast Bowlers Union.
I thought about it, and I still thought that union, but I had 6 fractures, so that union went for
That whole changed.
it changed
And
it.
I think it was because of the Australians anyway.
And South Africans also targeted our fingers, and
Yes,
I
they-
broke my fingers a couple of times and so on and so forth. So, yeah, I mean, that was a good game, and, we won from nowhere.
Good. Sir, talking about the sportsmanship in cricket, and this was in 1987, and one of the World Cup series, and this was in Pakistan, and West Indies playing against Pakistan, and Pakistan were chasing the total, and they required 14 runs in the last over. Abdul Qadir and Salim Jafar. They were the last pair of batsmen who were trying to get those runs. And it was Sir Courtney Walsh bowling the last over. And in the first 5 balls, somehow Abdul Qadir and Salim Jafar were managed to get 12 runs. So they required 2 runs of the last ball. And that was a qualifying match, probably for semi-finals or quarterfinals. But that was a very important match for both the teams. And as Courtney Walsh took the run up and he came running to bowl, Salim Jafar already left the crease and he was almost halfway down the wicket. And Courtney Walsh just stood there and allowed the batsman to come back to the crease. And the next ball, what happened was Abdul Qadir finally glided the ball to the third man. They got 4 runs and you lost the match. Pakistan qualified. And I could see that you were completely flattened on the ground. What was it? How was it? How did you take that sportsman spirit of Sir Courtney Walsh?
I remember Curtly, not Curtly, but that was Courtney at the time, who came and he said, because he was looking to back up too far, and he came at first and he said, Skip, Salim Jafar is backing up too far, and I warned him, but he still continues. What do you think I should do? So I said, hey, you would be remembered more than anything else for what you did in terms of running him out than anything else. You will remember that for the rest of your life.
Absolutely.
You know, and apparently he said, well, no, I've warned him again, and he did. And for some reason, Courtney could have taken the stumps. He just looked at me, and he allowed him to walk back. Maybe today, the decision may be different.
Absolutely. We can't expect that.
You know, but it's all about sportsmanship again. We would not have liked to have won that match with something of that nature.
Okay.
But things have changed now,
Yes,
because every run is important,
yes,
especially the T20s.
I know.
You allow the batsman to make his ground like that, and he's going to win the match for them.
Easy, yeah.
So I believe that the batsman should show the true spirit here by staying in the crease
Yes.
until the ball is released.
Ball, yeah.
Excellent.
I think that's
But,
probably the better way of looking into the rules and regulations now, instead of,
Like
the
cheating,
ball
you
is
know,
released. That's more or less
cheating, backing up too far.
Absolutely.
But Courtney did the right thing. As I said, we wouldn't be here speaking. We would be speaking about what Courtney did, and some would have seen it in a negative vein,
Right.
having won the match like that. Excuse me, I would not have.
It's
Because-
changed over a period of time now. I
Huh?
think it has changed.
Changed a lot, yeah, now, yeah.
I think now it is accepted that you.
Yes,
cannot-
easy. That's it. So, as I said, maybe today the decision would have been different.
No, you don't ask the captain as well. You don't ask the captain as
No,
well.
no.
You take the bails off,
And what go?
just walk.
Because you did the same thing in 1989 in Perth, and against Pakistan again, you were bowling, and Salim Malik, Javed Miandad was on the non-striker end. You bowled a ball, Javed Miandad run already, and the ball which was hit by Salim Malik, it hit the pads of Javed Miandad, ricocheted back to you, and you're standing next to the wickets. You could have just taken off the bails off. Javed Miandad stranded down the wicket,
I think we
but you allowed him to come back.
We were too nice then, I guess. It's all part of the sportsmanship. But as I said today, that would have been different because, if you notice, when we toured Pakistan, I can remember there's only one time we would have ever seen Javed Miandad given out like before.
Exactly.
You know, so maybe if I knew what was the equation then, I would have different mindset.
Yeah. We have a few friends from Lahore here. Probably they will also accept your comments. So one of the most important question, now a lot of people would love to hear from you that the latest cricket sensation in India, the 15 years old kid, Vaibhav Suryavanshi. What is your impression if you have watched him play?
Well, I've seen a bit, you know, it's great to see. It's great to see how adventurous this kid is at present. But when I look to judge a cricketer, it's not just basically from hitting the ball, you know. I judge an individual if he's that good a cricketer. When you get into that version where you have maybe 3 bouncers coming at you on a regular basis and in a test match situation, that's when you start. But presently, it's phenomenal from what I've seen. But the potential is just greater than anything else you would have seen. But I've always judged my cricketers on that next level. Take, for instance, like a Virat Kohli, you know, Sachin Tendulkar. All these guys have a serious foundation in terms of what batsmanship is all about. Hitting the ball is another thing. You know, I think we all can do that. But sometimes when we get into a situation where sometimes it needs a little bit more than hitting the ball. We've seen that with England with the basketball situation.
Exactly.
You know, not being able to defend well enough. That's when I think that's just my opinion. That's how I look to judge an individual. But certainly, the potential is there for him to go on and do great things. We said this about maybe a David Warner coming from a T20 environment into Test match cricket. I think he did reasonably well after coming from one version to the next. You know, so this kid's got a long way to go. He's 15 years of age.
Right.
You know, let's see. It's a process, and as he gets along, but certainly everything that you see at present does send a signal that this young kid has got a future.
Javagal, because you have watched him in
Well,
the close quarters.
I believe what I have seen him during the IPL is unbelievable. He's an absolute phenomenon for Indian cricket. All those things are fine, but it's still a testing time for him.
Yeah.
I don't want to be talking about whether he's going to succeed in a 5-day match, whether he's going to succeed in a 4-day match. That's not the point. At this point in time, white ball cricket is amazing. He is probably, you know, it's not easy, it's not fair to compare with anybody, but he's on his own in terms of the way he's been hitting. 10 sixers, 12 sixers, you know, whatever it is, I think he's making a big difference to the team that he's playing. So I got a chance to meet him. So I said, look, you will get 25 people to come and give you an advice, but just be yourself.
Yeah.
Just do what you want to do. Everything is working so well for you. Just go and, you know, you've been doing so well. I mean, that was also an indirect advice to him. He's brilliant. His age, his timing, his technique, he's phenomenal.
Probably you gave the same advice to Jasprit Bumrah because he had a peculiar bowling action.
I'm completely in agreement with Sir Vivian because, you know, for me, coaching, you cannot stereotype people. You cannot ask people. They just need to, cricket is about expressing yourself. I mean, your action has to be straight. You can't do this. You know, you have to play in the V. I mean, cricket is to get wickets. Cricket is to score runs. I mean, I believe in Sehwag. That's exactly how he played. I mean, of course, Vivian is in a different level altogether. Bumrah, I mean, if Bumrah was in England, they would have said stop. I mean, this is not the way to bowl. I mean, 5, 6 steps, sometimes you don't need run up. He has defied or probably making fool of people who are running from all the way from the 30-yard circle. Everybody is different and everybody's understanding of cricket, everybody's expression of cricket is different. So we need to encourage that instead of caging them into or aping them to becoming, you know, everybody trying to bowl the same action. That doesn't work. I think you are hampering the originality of the players when you do that. So a lot of coaching still happens on those lines where you stereotype people. We shouldn't be doing that.
just maybe to add a little bit what you said is so important, because when you look unorthodoxy, in my opinion, sometimes work big time. Take, for instance, Steve Smith, the way he plays.
Yeah.
In England, you mentioned Bumrah. They'd have looked at Bumrah and said,
Exactly.
go away. But it goes to show you that sometimes it isn't about how technical the individual, but you see something, a talent, just let him go. Let them go. You know, it's a kid today, whatever age, you see them telling you, oh, you got to be doing this. In England, and I honestly believe it, I'm going to say it, that they should change the whole cricket manual right now. That coaching manual is rubbish. You look at the shots that we play today. You cannot coach that.
I mean, the scoop shot.
Yeah, you cannot coach it, you know. So the coaching manual, I think, all those coaches in England who used to make some money got to find a new job, you know.
I, for one, believe that there are a lot of coaches who are really tampering with the great talent and then taking it in the wrong direction. I'm sure we would produce better cricketers if so many of the coaches stopped coaching, honestly.
Yeah, true. I remember myself and Andy Roberts went to England in 1973, and Andy got a contact for him to go to Hampshire. And I can remember the coach for Surrey, who was having a look at me, saying, every time I play a ball, I could see him shaking his head like, and that sent the signal, this guy is no good, you know. But it goes to show you sometimes the best of players sometimes slip through hands because of one individual's thinking.
Exactly.
You know.
Everybody is different, so
Yeah.
So Vivian, this is my final question to you this evening. We are all proud living in Antigua and being a part of Antigua, and we have seen great cricketers like yourselves, Sir Andy Roberts, then we have Kirkley Ambrose, Richie Richardson, and so forth, so on. But why in the last decade or the last few years, Antigua is not producing the cricketers to the international cricket?
That's a tough question. You would have seen in India, and we were having a chat earlier in connection with the development program. That's why I guess you see so many promising cricketers. India could put out maybe 3 teams now with the talent that they have.
Correct.
And that's due, in my opinion, to your development program. Money is going into the right places in order for these players to develop as well as they can. I don't think that's the same reason we have here. You know, we are short on funds. So sometimes the development program ain't as good as it should be. And that, I think, is one of the major problems. And also, I believe young individuals today see the T20 as they're getting out claws. This is their future. And we've got to find a way that at least if we need to have certain programs in place, that we can have a balance. It's not presently happening, you know, so it's going to be a struggle. So if you can find someone who can financially blessed, who can help to invest in the development programs here in the region, that would be nice.
Sure. Javagal, my final question to you this evening. When can we expect your autobiography?
Wow. You see, there are 2 things. One is to write a book honestly. Can I do that in India? When you are rubbing the wrong side of too many people. Not that I'm perfect, but still, when you write a book, I mean, you've got to be honest with what you put into the book. Other thing that, contrary to that, is that, or you write a book which is just another run of the mill where everybody is happy about it. So that's the reason. Sometimes I and Rahul, we sit and talk about should we write a book or not. So both of us decided not to write it.
If you have a problem finding the right place to sit and get enlightened to write your autobiography, please come back to Antigua. We have 365 beaches here, and you will not find a better place than Antigua, and I know Sir Vivian will watch for this.
There's also a topic you mentioned about the fact a while ago. This individual, right? As quiet as you see him, face with ball, man. And I think he would have helped to start that whole process
Yes.
of competitiveness as well too. And he didn't have the Bumrahs, and that book in the future could be I Came Before Bumrah and Sharma.
Fantastic. So we already have the title. Javagal, you cannot find a better title. Yeah, excellent. Good one. So thank you, gentlemen, and thanks for wonderful conversation. I know our participants would definitely appreciate this, and there are a lot of people watching this live, and definitely this conversation, I strongly believe, will inspire a lot of young cricketers across the world. And please continue to be seated because we have one more gentleman just for a few minutes rapid firing questions for both of you. Will not take more time.
He's going to interrupt dinner.
Where is he?
So no wonder they call Sir Vivian Richards the fearless legend and Javagal Srinath the gentle giant. What a legendary fireside chat. Give it up to both of them, including Dr. Nagraj Mysore. That was absolutely wonderful. So from staring at Kapil Dev's shoes in admiration to facing Malcolm Marshall and how the television played a huge role in cricket, and to proudly sporting a West Indies cap rather than hiding behind the helmet, to sledging not with words but with boundaries, your love for Indian food, Rogan Gosh, dal and basmati rice, to your wonderful opinions about a 15-year-old cricketer Vaibhav Suryavanshi, to the importance of good mentors and coaches. What an evening. This feels absolutely unreal. What a journey this has been. What a wonderful fireside chat. If tonight has taught us anything, it is that cricket gives all of us stories, and stories for a lifetime. In the words of Mr. Javagal Srinath, we are not in the midst of cricketers, but we are all in the midst of legends. Thank you. So with a quick show of hands, who thinks they're a cricket expert? Come on, guys. No, everyone? So then everyone should raise your hands. Come on. Okay, so perfect. We're about to find out whether you all are cricket experts with just a few ground rules. There's no Googling, no consulting your neighbors, no ChatGPT, no Copilot, no DeepSeek, and definitely no decision review systems. A little glory and a lot of fun. So I welcome Mrs. Satyajit Behra, the Senior Director of Fortuna Picks, the edtech company involved in digitizing education in the Caribbean region, an avid sports person, and an upcoming pickleball champion in his own right. Over to you, Satya, for this
Thank you.
rapid
Thank you,
fire
Nicole.
quiz.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone, and good evening to the legends here. Initially, we thought we will have this rapid fire round for you guys, but I think you guys have spoken a lot already. We're going to give you guys a rest, and we will ask questions to the audience to see how much they were paying attention, how much they were listening to all the stories. Okay, guys, don't use your phones, okay? Especially AUA professors, your students are here, okay? They're watching you, okay? Great. I'll make it very quick. It'll be a 5-minute quiz. We have around maybe 8 or 9 questions. And also, we have prizes, okay? We have prizes. If you get a question right, please raise your hand if you know the answer. And if you get it right, we have some prize for you, okay? Great. I'll start with my first question. So in 1984, in Manchester, West Indies were 166 for 9. The last man, obviously, was a fast bowler whose primary qualification is to come and defend and protect the other batsmen. On the other side was Sir Vivian Richards. In most cases, most batsmen, by now, they would be thinking about dinner. But here we are talking about Sir Vivian Richards. Can you guys tell me, the question for you guys here, can you guys tell me what was the score that Sir Vivian Richards scored on that day, which remained the highest one-day score for 13 years after that? Yes. 186 is the wrong answer. 192 is also the wrong answer. 189 is the right answer by Abhishek. Round of applause for Abhishek. Great. we move on to question number 2. Well, again, about Sir Vivian Richards. On April 15th in 1986, West Indies were winning 4-0, the series which was the norm at that time. They were playing against England. Sir Vivian Richards scored the fastest test century at that time. My question to you, there are 2 parts to the question. My question to you guys is, how many balls did Sir Vivian Richards take to score the fastest test century? The second part, I'll come to that once you tell me the answer to the first question. How many balls did Sir Vivian Richards take to score the fastest test century at that time? Chahat, yes.
56?
Great, 56 balls. Good. Round of applause for Chahat. The second part to this question, I hope all of you know this. In which cricket ground did he score this fastest test century? Antigua Recreation Ground is the right answer. Great. No chocolates for Mukesh. He doesn't like sugar. All right. Moving on to the next question. In 1979 Cricket World Cup final, when West Indies were playing, Sir Vivian Richards scored a century. Can you guys tell me the score that he ended up with in that final match, and therefore, if I'm not wrong, was the player of the match? What was the score that he scored in the final of 1979 Cricket World Cup? Desi boys, you guys play cricket every Saturday. You fight for all the rules and everything. You guys should know this answer. I'll keep the chocolate if nobody answers this question.
137, I think.
Yes, sorry.
137?
You are very close, very, very close. I'll give it to you actually. 138 not out. Please. All right. I'll move on to the next question. This might be a little difficult, but I'm pretty sure, considering all the cricket buffs we have, I'm sure you can answer this.
Thank you.
Well, Sir Vivian Richards captained West Indies team from 1984 to 1991. He captained for 50 test matches, 7 years. He won 27, drew 15, and lost around 8 test matches. What was the significant achievement of his captainship period? What was very significant about his 7 years of captainship for the West Indies cricket team from 1984 to 1991? You guys can take a guess. I'm not like AUA. I will not give you negative marking. Clue? Okay. I should have prepared for clues. Okay. Well, it is not about an individual achievement. It is about the team. Okay, I think this is a difficult question. I'll probably answer this for everyone. He never lost a test series as a captain.
Wow, that's rare.
Let's give a round of applause. All right, I'll move on to the 5th question. On March 18th, again, 1987, in a one-day international against New Zealand, Sir Vivian Richards achieved something, again, very significant. At that time, he became the first ODI player to achieve this. What was so significant about the achievement on that day? No, you are kind of on the track. That's a good guess, but that's not necessarily the right answer.
He scored a century and also took 5 wickets.
Beautiful, brilliant. I will give it to you after this event, okay? So the right answer is he became the first ODI player to score a century and also take 5 wickets in the same match. So round of applause for sir and also for you. Beautiful answer. All right, next question. Now moving on to Javagal Srinath sir. Can you guys tell me, so when Javagal Srinath sir made his one-day debut, I'll give you a clue. He did not make his debut in India or in England or in Australia. Can you guys tell me where did Javagal Srinath sir made his debut? No, no. It's a very non-cricketing nation. Yes. In Sharjah, United Arab Emirates. Well done. Now, since we spoke about the one-day debut, can you guys also tell me where did Javagal Srinath sir make his test debut? Desi boys, you should know this answer. Okay, can I get the specific stadium's name? Australia is the right answer, but I want the specific stadium's name, and I'll give you a clue. No, not MC. Gava, Brisbane is the right answer. All right. Yes. Can any one of you tell me? We all know, whenever Srinath sir would be bowling, he would take a bunch of wickets. Can you guys tell me what is his career best test bowling figures? You are underestimating, sir. You think he just took 6 wickets in a match? No. No. 8 wickets for 86 runs against Pakistan in Eden Gardens. Who gave it? Nobody gave it? I'll eat the chocolate. Okay. I think we'll probably move to the last question of the night, of the evening, or this quiz thing. In 1996, Javagal Srinath sir was given a very prestigious award by the government of India. Can you guys? Arjuna Award is the right answer. Great. Finally, I have a chocolate for you, ma'am. Great. I think that brings us to the end of this quiz. We just wanted to give you guys a break and also make sure that our audience is up to whatever information, facts that we should know about cricket. I hope all of you will go back and study like you keep telling your AU students to study, okay? AU professors. All right. Thank you so much. Nicole, I will hand it over to you.
Thank you, Satya. Now I have to add legendary quizmaster to the list of all the things that Anyways. So, cricket thrives not only because of players who grace the field, but also because of passionate individuals who preserve the spirit of the game within our communities. This evening, we are all very proud to recognize doctors, the members of our AUA family, the Indian community here in Antigua, whose enthusiasm, whose dedication have kept the spirit of cricket alive and flourishing. For despite being separated nearly 14,000 kilometers, India and Antigua remain united by one enduring passion. I know Saturday evenings are super fun for the Desi boys because they're playing cricket. I now welcome Dr. Nagaraj Mysore, the chair of the organizing committee, to welcome and introduce each honoree to join us on the stage today. Over to you, Dr. Mysore.
Yeah, thanks, Dr. Nicole. And this is the time we want to distribute some mementos for their contributions in the local cricket. Most of them are our faculty members, and definitely we have our business community people as well in this in our team. So I'll be calling the names of the players. So please come across and receive the mementos from these legendary cricketers. Okay, are we ready? Yeah. Okay. The first name goes is Mr. Hashwaq Hamad. Hamad bhai. Abhishek, please follow. Abhishek Gaud. Dr. Damodar Shanai. So all of you, please hurry up as I call your name. Dr. Prasanna Honawar. Dr. Ravi Rajput. Satyajit is very much here on the stage. Satyajit Behra. Dr. Bijay Barik. Alex Stephen. If Alex is not here, I know there are a couple of friends of his participating here with us. They can come and receive the memento. Mukesh Sharma. Chins Korean. Abhishek Chaudhary. Sanjay Adagale. Dr. Vijay Kumar. Dr. Kishan Kadur. Adijo is here. Laltesh. Pranav. Is Pranav here today? Dr. Simit Verma. Dr. Omkar Puvala. Dr. Domen Mikkel. Utsav Singh. Joseph Joy. Joseph Chugnath. Satyajit Bera, did you see? And finally, it's me. Thank you, gentlemen. And is anybody else? Yeah. Javagal, I know we are running out of time, but I will just open a couple of questions from our audience. If anybody has any, just a quick couple of 2 questions we'll take. Anybody has a question, we have a mic there. Please come over there and you can ask the question to the legends. Just for the want of time, we will take only 2 questions, please.
Check. This question is to Mr. Srinath. So it's more of a comment than a question. The 1996 match that you played with the batting that you and Kumble in Bangalore that you showed, we watched it on television. Both Banu and I were watching, and the most enduring memory of that was both mothers were sitting there in the audience, and they were smiling and they were looking so happy and praying. So that memory is not going back from our minds, and I hope both of them are keeping well.
Well, both of them are not alive. That's Anil's mother and Anil's aunt. My mother has not come to the stadium. She was always watching at home. But I think that particular footage was very famous. And Anil's mother was a wonderful lady too. Thank you.
Riding on Anant's piggyback, did you and Mr. Kumble, both of you, come from Karnataka? And did you have any kind of secret language or code where you can say, okay, this is what I'm going to use?
We spoke in Kannada. Our mother tongue was Kannada. I come from Mysore, he is from Bangalore. But more or less, our eating habits, more or less everything is very similar. So, he did his engineering, I did my engineering. So we had a lot in common between us.
So you had secret language?
That's Kannada is our secret language. Not many people. So whenever we need to speak, we spoke in Kannada.
Okay.
Thank you.
One question to Sir Vivian. You are famous for chewing gum. have you ever swallowed your gum while facing a batsman, a bowler?
Not really, never. That's why I'm still here.
And this question is for Sir Vivi Richards. Before we used to say like 180 in one-day match, 180 to like 200 would be a good score. And now we see that 250, 300 is is good. So what changed? Like what, according to you?
It's like us as human beings, we all get older, and sometimes things move faster. And this is what we have seen at present. The game has evolved big time, and it's just great to see. What happened yesterday is not happening today, So it's credit to the individuals who just move things on. And as a past cricketer myself, I'm extremely happy to have seen the places that cricket is going.
Great, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. That was wonderful.
Nicole.
Sorry, yeah.
This is to Sir Vivian Richards. I'm here. So what do you, last question. What do you like to say about Rahul Dravid?
Oh, he's known as the wall.
Yeah.
And it's, as I said earlier, India is just filled with wonderful batsmanship, and not just as a great batsman, but whenever you would have met him, he's just a great human being as well.
Thank you. As a gesture of our gratitude and admiration, we would now like to present tokens of appreciation to our distinguished guests. May I now invite Mr. Ashfaq Ahmed, Operations Manager, Plumbing Electric Limited, Antigua, to the stage to present a token of appreciation to a fearless batsman, an inspirational leader, and a true icon whose legacy transcends generations and borders. Sir Vivian Richards. Can we please all put our hands together with a thunderous applause as Mr. Ashfaq Ahmed walks over to the stage and gives him a token of appreciation on behalf of everyone here at Antigua. Thank you, sir. May I now invite our next sponsor, Mr. Abhishek Gaud, the CEO of Group RX Limited, Antigua, to the stage to present a token of appreciation to a trailblazing fast bowler whose skill, resilience, and professionalism has transformed the landscape of Indian cricket. Mr. Javagal Srinath. Yes, with a thunderous round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, what a privilege this has been to spend this evening in the company of two true legends. On behalf of the American University of Antigua College of Medicine, I extend our heartfelt gratitude to Sir Vivian Richards, Mr. Javagal Srinath for sharing their wisdom, their stories, and their inspiration to all of us here today. We would also like to thank Dr. Nagaraj Mysore, the chair of the organizing committee, Dr. Ricardo Hood, the Dean of Preclinical Sciences, all our faculty, our staff, students, community members, volunteers, and sponsors who made this event tonight possible. The game of cricket teaches us greatness is built one ball at a time, one partnership at a time, and one opportunity at a time. May we leave tonight inspired by the remarkable journeys of our guests. I now invite Dr. Ravi Rajput, Professor, Department of Pharmacology, and my dear colleague, to now deliver the vote of thanks.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. As we come to the close to this memorable evening with Sir Vivian Richards and Mr. Javagal Srinath, sir, it is my great privilege to offer the vote of thanks. And tonight has been more than a gathering. It has been evening of inspiration, sporting excellence, warm conversations, and unforgettable memories. And we are deeply grateful to everyone to made it possible. First and foremost, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished guests. Thank you, Sir Vivian Richards. Thank you, Srinath, sir, for being here and honoring our event. And we also like to give a special thank to Dr. Peter Bell, president of AUA. When we approached him with this vision of this event, he immediately supported it and made available the resources needed to bring it to the life. Dr. Bell, your encouragement and trust made a major difference. And also our gratitude goes to Mr. Sheikh Sadiq, Executive Vice President of Strategy and Chief Operations Officer, for his support and encouragement. Thank you, Mr. Dan Brummelen, Vice President of Finance and Controller, and Mr. Joshua James, Director of Admissions, who remain close communication with Sir Vivi Richards to make sure that he's available for today's great evening. And also we sincerely thank Heather and Amani for their tremendous effort in preparing this beautiful world-class venue, and the setting, arrangement, and hospitality truly made the evening special. We are also grateful to Dr. Ricardo Hood, our Dean of Basic Sciences, for his support, encouragement, and presence. And I always know that last time when we went for the cricket, he is also a cricket enthusiast. He was there for cheering for India. Thank you. And also very special acknowledgement goes to the organizing committee. Special acknowledgement to Dr. Nagraj Mysore, who actually conceptualized this event and served as its driving force. So his vision and passion for the cricket and the long-standing friendship with Mr. Srinath sir helped transform an idea into this remarkable evening. Dr. Nagraj, your perseverance and commitment brought us all together. Thank you so much. Our deepest thanks goes to the volunteers who truly are the backbone of this event. Satyajit Behera, Abhishek Nadipalli, Dr. Amruta Rajput, and Dr. Prasanna Honawar. Your time commitment behind the scenes work ensured everything came together smoothly. And also special appreciation go to our students volunteers, Priyanka Mehta, who worked exceptionally hard throughout the preparation, along with Harshita Satya and Chahat Antil. A special thanks to our IT team, Mr. Barrymore, Mr. Homer, Mr. Jakim, for their excellent technical support and ensuring smooth live streaming of this event on the YouTube. And your work behind the scenes helped extend this memorable evening beyond the venue. And we also sincerely acknowledge our valued sponsors, PEL Private Limited, represented by Dr. Ashfaq Ahmed, and Group X Pharmaceutical Distributors, represented by Mr. Abhishek. Your generous support and partnership contribute greatly to the success of this event. And we also thank Indian Summer, who have got the delicious dinner for today, which we are going to have soon. And also I would thank Nicole, excellent hostess for this evening. And most importantly, the participants, you all. Please give a big round of applause for you, otherwise it would not have been successful. Thank you so much. All right, so over to Nicole.
Thank you, Ravi. That was wonderful and so from the heart. Before we conclude, we are delighted to invite all of our guests to join us for a fellowship and dinner immediately following this. Please take an opportunity to now meet your fellow cricket enthusiasts who are here and enjoy the Indian feast provided by Indian Summer. I extend my sincere gratitude to the leadership, to everyone that is gathered here today. Have a wonderful night, enjoy the dinner, and safe travels home. Good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Nicole signing off. Thank you.